#Goals the show. I am your host, Michelle Moses, and I have the gorgeous and adorable Julie Baton here with me. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Totally my pleasure. Julie is a health coach and doTERRA wellness advocate. There is some common ground between the two.
A lot of common ground.
So I want to discuss that, and we'll talk about each separately. But you can follow Julie at her website.
JulieBatonWellness.com, or my Instagram is @JulieBaton.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. You're so cool, by the way. I love what you do, and I guess let's just dive right into it.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit about what health coaching entails.
What really drew me and what interests me is that health coaching is so much more than just what you eat. It's looking at a person holistically, and that means as a whole. So what makes you you? So we'll look at nutrition, and we'll also look at physical movement. You know, what exercises are you doing, what do you like to do? We look at your stress management, because you could eat all the kale and broccoli in the world,
right?
But if you're completely stressed out, you will not be healthy. We look at relationships. We'll look at what's your purpose?
Yeah.
What hobbies do you have? Because we are like a puzzle, and all those pieces need to fit for us to be whole and healthy. So a very big thing is teaching my clients to tune into themselves.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people don't do that enough. We kind of get lost in the motions of life.
Yes.
And we never sit and think about, am I eating healthy? Am I sleeping healthy? Am I being healthy overall? Sometimes you just get so caught up in daily living and just like you get into survival mode as opposed to getting into a healthy routine.
And you block out what your body's messages are.
Right, exactly. So that is amazing that you do this, because it sounds like you and I are going to have a lot to talk about.
My favorite part of what I do and what I specialize is in preteen and teenage girls. So I teach in a local high school. 1 week we'll talk about the food groups and what's a carb and what's a protein, what's a fat. I'll do a stress management, and I'll teach them how to meditate. You know, build up their knowledge base at the same time that you're building up their confidence and their image.
Right. As you're talking, I'm thinking to myself, I wish I had someone like you in my school who would teach me all that, because you dive into adulthood needing to know this.
Right.
And the younger you are learning it, the more it becomes ingrained and part of your life, instead of like a set checklist of things that you need to do in order to become healthy.
And as an adult, we usually don't learn these things until we've already broken.
Yeah.
Until we've already hit that crisis point and we don't know where else to turn. And how nice would it be if I knew how to deep breathe when I was in college?
For viewers at home watching, what kind of advice would you give them in terms of coming to that point of acceptance and like just building self-esteem?
It's a very raw subject. It's very sensitive, and everyone will come at it from a different place. You know, that's actually why I love working with the young girls, because I feel like I have a chance to ingrain some of these concepts into them before they're brainwashed by the diet culture or brainwashed by social media, and they have a little bit of a more sense of self. Our brain has a negative bias. So what that means is that we are wired to automatically think the worst. And we always look, so at first thought will always be negative.
Yeah.
But what you do from that point on is what changes who you are as a person and how you think. So in order to, you know, that first look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look so fat. First of all, especially with the young girls, this works great. We do a gratuity list. And what I encourage is little teeny things, is not just, oh, I'm grateful to be alive. It's like, I loved dinner last night. It was my favorite dinner. Or my friend shared her crayons with me. Or I'm grateful for a sunny day. And the more we look to be grateful for things, I think we look more positively at the world. So we can rewire our brain. In terms of self-confidence, you know, I tell people to look in the mirror, even if they're having a hard time looking in the mirror. I start my girls' classes with everyone has to write down on paper their 3 favorite physical traits. And then when we're done with that, we write our 3 best character traits. So one's physical and one's about us. And then when we write the 3 things they like about their character, then I get into that where we talk about how can we use that in the world. You know, if you like that you're smart or you like that you're funny, how does that give back to the world? And trying to, you know, we want to find the good in our beauty and our physical, but we also want to now put a lot of focus and attention on what we're good at as people.
I used to be a size 0'2", and after my son was born and I had a C-section, I jumped to size 4'6". And it took me a very long time to reach that point of, this is my body now, this is my body. I have to remind myself that. What kind of advice would you give people who are still trying to reach that point? It is a little bit of a climb and a journey to get there.
So what I tell people is, and I'm not quoting it exactly, but one of my favorite quotes is that we're each both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. And what that means to me is that we accept and love our bodies.
Right.
And at the same time, try to be the best me that each of us can be. You can do the same exact nutritional plan and exercise plan in two different ways that will completely change how you treat yourself. It can come from love and acceptance. I'm eating well to nourish my body and boost my immune system. I'm exercising to build my strength. Rather than doing that same plan saying, oh, I'm on a diet because I got so fat. Or I'm exercising because I need to get into my bikini by...
Right.
It's even sitting at the table and saying, I'm choosing the fruit as my dessert because it's going to feel so good later. The more we punish ourselves for making mistakes, and the more that we feel guilt around food, and the more that we eat from an emotional place,
Right.
that's what trips us up. More than the cookie, the cake, or you know, whatever it is, the ice cream. That's where our problems lie, up here.
Yeah.
Not down here.
I think it all just boils down to the way you view things. And if you can get yourself to a mentally healthy place and see things the right way, like you said, don't beat yourself up. You have to think about your long-term goal and taking care. It's a matter of taking care of yourself. You should be more nurturing toward yourself and not beat yourself up over it. So I love that. I feel like I really learned a lot right now. In addition to getting to that point mentally, are there physical changes that we can make to help ourselves feel better?
You can take a bath that feels luxurious for you. You can get your hair blown or put on a little makeup or take pride in getting more dressed up. Even if you are just going to the supermarket, don't we all feel better when we spend a little extra time on ourselves? Self-care means different things to different people. Like I was talking about that bio-individuality. So for some people, I mean, I love massages. There's nothing that makes me feel like a massage does. But I know people who hate massages.
Right.
And for some people, luxury is just coming home in the middle of the day and reading a book. It's finding out what makes you tick and what those hobbies are. And it's not something you have to be good at. It could be something that you are good at and that gives you confidence. So do what makes you feel good about yourself. Don't feel like it's selfish.
But I also want to stress the fact that things take time. Results don't come overnight, but we need to be in that place where we're willing to change and make changes.
100%.
I thank you for what you do because it's so needed around here.
Thank you.
And I really wish for women to reach that place of self-acceptance and loving themselves because we don't love ourselves enough. And I'm guilty of that. So you're going to now walk me through your other business, Jules Essentials.
Yes.
And these are essential oils.
Yes.
Which I know nothing about, by the way. So I'm getting an education today. In many ways, you're teaching me so much about everything. So please, take the floor.
Using my knowledge as a health coach and now my knowledge, you know, working with essential oils, I am able to meld the two. And that's what I love. I love that my health coaching supports the essential oils and the essential oils supports the health coaching. So I sometimes have people come to me for essential oils and I send them home with none and I say, actually you need a probiotic and vitamin D and you don't need an oil. And then sometimes people will come to me for something else and I'll say, you know, this oil can help support, you know, what we're talking about. So it's actually a very nice marriage between the two. You know, from anything from a physical ailment, like let's say a cold or an eczema or knee pain or back pain, to emotional problems such as being stressed out. Essential oils are, you know, in scientific words, the aromatic volatile compounds in plants. So they are what the immune system of the plant kingdom is. Lavender is from the lavender flower. Geranium is a geranium flower. Lemon, wild orange, grapefruit, that's all from the peel of the citrus fruits. This is man's original medicine.
How does one go about using the oils? They come in very pretty bottles.
There's 3 different ways we use oils. And there's 3 different uses for those weights. So the first one is aromatic, which pretty much just means smelling it. Or we can use a diffuser. We have that diffuser running, and it's putting all these oils into the air so we can breathe it in. Second, so that was number 1, aromatic. So it means smelling it literally from a bottle or your hands or in a diffuser.
Yeah.
The second way is topical. And when you put oils on the bottom of your feet, it's in your bloodstream in 20 seconds and in every cell in your body in 20 minutes. The last way to use these oils, and this I don't start off with new clients this way, and we do not do children or pregnant women, but is ingesting the oils.
So, Julie, I have insomnia. I cannot sleep. Is there something here that can save me and help me sleep at night?
Yes, definitely. Can I ask, is it anxiety involved or is
Totally.
it... Okay. Do Serenity and Balance, because I love those 2 for calming and sleep. And I would do my Copaiba. Where is he? Copaiba is a new oil that's great for anxiety. So what I would do is before you go to sleep at night, I would roll it all over your feet. Start at your toe, your big toe.
Okay.
Roll around your big toe, go up and down your foot, and then rub the 2 soles of your feet together like this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then just put on your socks.
Okay. I'm so excited.
If you don't mind the smell, you can put it behind your ears, you can put it on your pulse points, over your heart. Those are more of the emotional areas.
Thank you so much for this. I'm so excited to try
You
it.
can always make it stronger if you need.
I would let you know. Wow, it smells like perfume almost.
Yeah.
Julie, this was so interesting and fascinating, and I love what you do, and I'm so glad that you made it here today.
Yeah.
If you agree that Julie is #goals, then please like this video, be sure to subscribe. Woo, we did it!
We did it! Yeah! Woo!